Okay, hi, welcome. My name's Arshagra, and this is In Conversation With. It's a radio, internet, video. We don't know what it's going to be yet or if the name's going to change. But basically what's happening here is that an idea is being birthed. And so I am at the National Beat Poetry Festival in Barkhamsted, New Hartford, Connecticut, northwest corner. And this is 2023. This is the third year that I've been here. The festival's been going on for quite a while. It's produced by the National Beat Poetry Foundation, which is headed up by Debbie Kilday. And there's a book out, and in that book are many poets, and basically the concept is to give the term beat a fresh tank of oxygen to breathe what is beat and how it came into being and why it's here to stay and why it's going to grow, just like any literary contribution in life, including the legacy of hip-hop. They talk about when it started. Does it go back to Africa or was it 50 years ago? It doesn't matter, but basically a seed has been planted and a voice has been born, and one of those voices is Chris Vannoy, who I met here last year. And we're just basically gonna have an open-minded conversation. We have no plan. We have no idea. And then if it's so good and we can't stop, we're gonna ignore the beat. But not the beat. How's that, huh?
Not the beat.
Little wordplay from the poets. Okay, so that's about right. It'll sit down there and just bother us. Okay, Chris Vannoy, everything's open. My passion is benevolence.
Okay.
So we're not going to argue. We're not going to gloom and doom. We're going to go into the impossible, what's not been done, what cannot be done, why we're going to make it as a life form and a species. Otherwise, it's pretty casual and wide open.
Sounds good to me.
How's that? Okay, cool. And go ahead and speak up as loud as you can, because we got the one shotgun mic. So go ahead, give it a voice. I'm here.
The beat generation?
Anything at all. You can talk about whether you like, because for Christmas. It's all good.
I did have some.
The meaning of life.
Was it Pajorgi, or what was it?
Pierogies?
Pierogies, yeah. I did have some last time I was here.
Oh, they were good.
I went over to see Woodstock and hung out there for a little while after this reading.
Woodstock, New York or Connecticut?
In New York.
In New York, yeah. Okay, cool.
And
you mean that's how long this has been going on? Let's look at the camera.
No,
what year are we in with this Woodstock?
20...
Last year?
18.
Oh, 18.
19. Somewhere.
Do you know how long this has been happening?
2019. It's been happening for about 10 years now.
Oh, wow.
So it started before I got into it. I got into it about halfway through.
Okay, cool. All right. So who are we? What the hell are we doing here? Why do we do this thing? What do you want to talk about? We got a few minutes to have a really open-minded conversation. Just blow the lid off of meaning and definition and interpretation. What do you got?
Well, the way I got into it was when I first started going out to poetry readings. This friend of mine started reading poetry about the beat generation, about the beats. And so that's where I started studying the beats and what they were all about and how they began and what happened. And I read an autobiography about Ginsberg, about Ginsberg, and I fell in love with him because he's the one that pretty much made the beats, as far as I could tell. He got Jack Kerouac's script and walked around and shopped it out to all the publishers, got him published, and he was
quite the journey. Not the first one took it.
Yeah, he went down to Mexico and stayed at a couple of Aztec ruins down there because he knew a guy that was an archaeologist who was digging down there. And then he went over to Morocco and stayed with Burroughs, and up to Paris and stayed with Burroughs. And Amiri Baraka wrote a letter to Ginsberg on a roll of toilet paper and sent it over to Ginsberg.
When he was Leroy Jones still?
Yeah, he was Leroy Jones too. And then, oh man, Ginsberg just got me into it.
What is it that these life forms like us, poets, why are we here? What are we doing? Not just because the beats influenced you, not just because you became part of that swell of I'm alive now, and I found purpose in life, and these are my influences. So now that you're here at this stage of your life, if I could say so, because you're probably what, 20, 22 now?
Yeah, at
Young
least,
kid. I wish I was as young as this guy. So anyway, what is it that we're doing from the new poet who writes his first poem to the veteran who's been given his life to it for 30 years? What do you think we're doing in the blip of time?
Teaching. What I'm doing is teaching people, is promoting them and trying to get them into the poetry, and trying to get them to write better poetry all the time.
And how do you deal with the factor that being either the inspiration, the motivation, or the influence of an individual? Somebody mentioned something that you can't do it for them, that there has to be that internal spark. So how do you feel about the person who does get to the pen? He does get to the page and he is writing his or her stuff down in any and all forms. It's 2023. And we're all good, love and be loved. I thread that needle in the little segue, back in the thing. What are we doing here with this voice? And are we going to give up? Are we going to keep going? Are we going to grow? Where are we in the blip of time, do you think?
Define we.
Those who make it to pen and paper and write these things called poems at any stage, whether they're at the end of the game or they're new. What are we doing in the blip of time? What do you think poetry's job is? Maybe that's...
Oh, right now? Pretty much just to inform the public about what's going on in the world and what's happening, and a lot about ecology and the sexual revolution and everything else like that.
So would you say it's a form of information?
Yes, I would.
Would you say it's a form of news, journalism?
Yes.
Would you say it's a form of art itself? Just
whatever.
Definitely
art, yeah.
And here's the big one. Is it necessarily entertainment?
If it's fun poetry, it's entertainment.
If it's fun. Fun for who?
Everybody.
Everybody? Okay, that was a trick question. I admit it. If he didn't say that, it was the one question that I had in this little conversation that was supposed to... I knew when I asked it, please say everybody, because you never stop learning from yourself.
That's right.
So, what's the hardest question you ever asked yourself?
Why do I do this?
Why do I do this? And the answer is?
Because I have to.
Because you have to.
Yeah, I don't
Want to call that a wrap? I think we got an interview.
Okay.
Stats Freeform, and this is In Conversation with C.C. Arshagra. Thank you very much, Chris Vannoy.
All right.
And get his books, and we'll put a little link down at the bottom, and we'll put this up on wherever that is, if it's audio or whatever. We'll figure it out. But believe it or not, poets have to create feces and urine, which requires food, sometimes shelter, not always. And it's nice to have the clothing option, because otherwise they won't film you and they'll accuse you of things that are a little darker than that. That's it. Thank you very much. And let's see if we can get another poet in here.